It's the Andy and Dave Daily right here on the Muskegon Channel. I'm Andy O'Reilly. There's Dave Cackley. I am sorely disappointed in you, sir.
Oh, what did I do now?
Well, it's what you haven't done, which is given even the slightest inquiry about my trip over to Rochester for the surgery.
I did. We talked about that.
Well, we didn't talk about the trip.
The
We talked
trip.
about the
Well, it was
surgery, but
all
we did not talk
yes.
about.
The Baraboo Thunderbirds.
Well, that's the high school team in Baraboo,
Okay.
Wisconsin. That's where we stopped on our way out there. And I got to tell you what, this is a
Mm-hmm.
travel tip from your old buddy, Andy.
That's a
If you
must
want,
stop.
if I'm going to tell you think I'm kidding, but I'm going to promise you something.
Mm-hmm.
Pay attention. If you would like to spend one day doing something amazing to take the kids
Mm-hmm.
or the family or go experience something great, you need to go to Baraboo, Wisconsin.
Okay.
You can do it in a matter of just a few hours to get there. Um, the town itself is small town America. It's really cool.
Mhm. Okay.
It's also the home of the Ringling Brothers.
Interesting.
Very interesting. So all five of the brothers are from Baraboo. They
Mm-hmm.
developed their entire circus empire from doing little shows around Baraboo, where they saved enough money to buy a tent. Their winter
Okay.
quarters, as that entire enterprise grew, their winter
Mhm.
quarters are still there in Baraboo, and they've built a circus museum.
Nice.
I put the pictures out
Mm-hmm.
on the Facebooks there, and to to look at our line of work and entertainment, for that
Mm-hmm.
matter, and what it took to pull off something spectacular in the late 1800s and early 1900s. It's gargantuan.
Oh, of
Um,
course. I mean,
Dude,
they didn't have what we have now. There was the spirit of the country was different. Obviously, there was a lot of horrible things going on
well, a circus had a
too.
lot of
This is
stuff
not
going on
to
bad. I
this is
mean,
with the
the
circus too. Not
animals and all, and
yeah,
I get it, but that was then. This is now. But
yeah, right.
here's the rub. Not only is it a circus museum with a couple of circus acts that perform still
Hmm.
throughout the day, they have preserved the wagons that used to pull these circuses across the United States, and there are
Really,
hundreds of them, and they are huge and they're ornate.
of
And
course.
if you look at these things and think, I mean, I look back to when I first started, I had to carry milk crates of records and tapes and all this crap, and that was a pain in the ass to get somewhere.
Mhm.
Can you imagine dragging a hippo everywhere you go in the
Or an
1800s?
elephant,
Or no, not an elephant. Try a dozen.
a dozen yes.
Yeah. So now you're getting the idea of what it took. And then you had to put up a
Hmm.
tent that would seat 15,000 people a show.
Yeah.
And then, but the beauty and the amazing art and the incredible, uh, surreal life size
Hmm.
everything at this museum is unbelievable. And it's right by the Wisconsin Dells, which is another big, huge hit for everybody that likes to do a short, little, quick family trip. So the
Hmm.
kids can do water slides and all the tourist trap crap and all that other kind of stuff. But this place has to be seen.
Okay.
Baraboo, Wisconsin, and that circus museum. Unbelievable.
I got to be honest. I did not see our conversation going in this direction when we started. I had no idea.
Yeah.
I didn't, but it's interesting.
Yeah.
Am I going to actually make a trip to
Probably
Wisconsin
not,
to see
because
it? No, I'm
why
not
would you
because I
do
don't like
that?
going.
You know?
Exactly. But I like knowing these things are out there.
Oh, you should.
I like this is what I'm not big on like going places or doing things, but I like having options. I like
Right.
to know that if I turn into a different person, or if I start getting the urge to take a trip like that is an option that is available to me. Now, I'm
See,
not going to exercise that option
of course
in
not.
in all likelihood. I'm not.
Right.
I don't say never. I don't say definitely not. I'm not like you and say no. I'm not going to do that. I'm open to maybe doing it,
All
but
right.
probably not.
Well,
There you
give you
go.
this thought too. There, as you head into Baraboo, there is a little place out on the outskirts of town, um, right across from the county fairgrounds. In fact, They had the county fair going on when we came into town. It was really cool.
Nice.
Which was nice. I mean, hey, county fair over there, good. Let's go get a
Right.
fried Oreo or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, but there's a little place on the outskirts of town called the Red Shed.
Hmm.
So we drove by that, and I'm like, oh God, please don't see that. Please don't see that. We got to the hotel, and the first thing is, can we go back to that Red Shed and take a look around? Oh boy. So we
Jeez.
get on the lot, and the first thing in my mind is, I ain't getting out of here cheap.
No,
And
you're not.
boy, I was right.
Hmm.
Awesome little place. You want to show you? Can I show you something I got?
Sure, go ahead.
They got all kinds of yard and garden art and all that stuff, but they
Oh
also got
my
some artisan
God.
things. So I got a new hat for the winter.
Oh, that's which what was that from?
I think it's
It was one of the Christmas
the
claymate
year without a
the
Santa
year
Claus.
the year without Santa Claus. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
this is handmade. That
that's impressive.
yeah, so that's a fun little thing. Um,
Hmm. Nice.
yeah, and we filled the yard with yard art too for Cindy.
Okay.
So yeah.
I will say this. I would say it's more likely that I will take a trip to Baraboo, Wisconsin, than you will ever take a 3-minute cold shower to start your day or at any point in
Well,
life.
you're right on that one.
Despite how often I tell you it's a positive thing,
Here's
it'll
what
make
I'm
you
trying
feel
to give
good.
you. Here's what I'm
It'll
trying to give
decrease
you.
your anxiety. It will be a potential life-changing experience for you.
Okay.
Whereas
Well,
this would just be a nice little place to visit for me.
but here's what
And
I'm
that's
trying to
okay.
tell you. You can take your kid somewhere cool for fairly cheap
Mhm.
and close.
He's
I'm
not
here to
in our
help.
Yeah, he's just not in. I know what his interests are. That's just not. That would be more something that I would do myself. Max just isn't into.
Well, break the
That's not
mold.
his
Take
thing.
him there.
Yeah.
All right. So,
At this point, I'm like, dude, where do you want to go? Okay, we'll go there.
yeah.
I don't need to.
Okay.
Yeah. This is what I've noticed. This before we get into this about parenting, and I try to convey this to my son. Look, man, I don't need to like the things you like. Your music taste is terrible. It's atrocious. It's the worst thing in the history of ears, but that's okay that you like it. So it's
Yeah.
okay. You don't have to be into the I'm 37, 38 years older than you. It's okay that we don't like the same things. And
Right.
he'll always just, no, Dad, you're gonna love this. Just listen to this. Listen. No, no, Max, I'm not. It sucks. It sucks. It's terrible. It's noise pollution. It's god awful. But that's okay. You can still listen to it. That's it.
Okay.
And then that's where we are.
I give you some practical advice on how to be a cool dad, and you turn right
I
back
don't.
into
I don't
being
want to be. I don't want to be a cool dad. I
the
have no
skinny
interest
Archie
in being a
Bunker.
cool dad.
Perfect.
I have
Okay.
no interest in being a cool dad.
Mm.
Uh, I want to be a good dad, not a cool dad, and there
Okay.
is a major difference.
Well,
All right, let's do it. What?
do some news then.
Okay. A former intelligence official claims the U.S. government has been covering up a long-standing UFO program. David Grush testified before Congress that the program collects and reverse engineers UFOs and has found non-human biologics at UFO crash sites. The Pentagon, of course, denying these claims. It's all probably true.
No, it's
I don't
not
know
probably true.
100%.
Not
Well,
at
this
all.
again, I always say probably because there's always going to be an element of doubt. Is this a false flag? Is this a diversionary? Because I don't trust any. I once any government or government official starts trying to pretend to be somewhat transparent about big things, I automatically think they're lying.
Okay.
Just because that's the business they're in is the business of lying. So, but this guy seems credible.
Well, let me
So
tell you
who
what.
knows?
Here's where you got to look at this differently. The business that they're in is the business of moving economies
Hmm.
around the world, period. And until that business decides that it wants to change its model away from propulsion that is driven by fossil fuel, it's not going to change. When that
Yeah.
happens, and we've had the technology since before the Apollo era, so every rocket we've ever put up did not need to be fueled the way it was. Every plane we've flown does not need to be fueled the way it is. Every car we drive, every sub we have underwater, every ship, everything else,
Hmm.
they can all be powered in a different way. It's already there.
Probably.
No,
I would
not
say
probably.
probably.
It's
See,
there.
okay, you keep doing that. This is the problem. This is the difference between me and you.
Okay.
I have this position of openness on most things.
Right.
I'm open to what people say. I'm open to people's point of view. I'm open to new information or information that may conflict my worldview. You, on the other hand, have this thing with certitude. No, no, no. This isn't just probably. This is and is. This is just what is happening. We do have this. I'm just saying maybe we do.
Okay.
It's a good argument.
Well, here's
But I mean,
the difference between you and
we
me
gotta
from my
we
point
gotta
of view.
stop. We gotta stop being too certain that we're right and too certain that somebody else is wrong.
Here's the difference
That's
between me and you from my point of view.
go ahead.
I learn enough to keep my mouth shut until I'm convinced that something is credible. So I will stand on the fence and be wishy-washy if I'm not sure. Like if you bring up something about a politician or some kind of law or whatever, and I'll be like, well, I don't know nothing about it. I can't speak on it. But trust me on this. I have spent more freaking time looking into the darkest corners of everything that has to do with things like element 115 and helium 3 and what's his face from way back when at Area 51. Bob Lazar.
Right. Bob Lazar. Yes.
So believe me,
we've discussed
when
this.
I tell you,
he's very credible.
When I tell you that something
yes.
is there, that is because I am 100% convinced that it's there.
Yeah, I don't deny that.
You can't have. So instead of me, well, maybe it is, maybe it isn't.
No, it's not a maybe. You can say
hear me out.
Probably. Yeah,
hear me out. I could say probably. I could do that. Or I could speak with a bit of an authoritative position because I think I know enough and say, you know what? Dave's open to the idea. I'm wide open to this one because it's a fact.
Well, again, it's not a fact, but it is leading in that direction. Because here's the thing, okay?
Because the Pentagon hasn't rubber stamped it, and
no, I don't trust them. Like I said, when this guy to me, I don't any denials that come out of the government. I start thinking more. I'm more inclined to see things from your perspective on this. 100%. Okay. I'm just open to the possibility of being wrong. That's why you don't want to dig your heels in too much. You can say, you know what, I'm open to this, but I'm also I need to hear from some physicists on how, because if you're saying this is what these are the people we haven't heard from who could actually tell us if these things are not something that is possible from our understanding of physics. No physicists are being talked to or are talking about this. And they would be the ones to tell you definitively that 100% this is not something that we as human beings are able to do given our current understanding of physics, science, and technology.
Okay.
So that's where I will just pull back a little bit. That doesn't mean That doesn't mean what you're saying isn't true. Okay, don't roll your eyes.
I'm gonna roll my eyes.
This doesn't mean what you're saying isn't true. I'm just saying I'm gonna hold back until I hear a little bit before certitude. I'm leaning in your direction, but I'm not 100% yet.
Well, let me help you out with this as we finish up. Bob Lazar is a physicist. So you've heard from a physicist. You got that one. There you go. Bob Lazar also talked about element 115 before it was even on the periodic table.
Yes.
Okay.
100%.
So there's another pretty good little nugget of information that we can power things with anything other than fossil fuel.
I need more than one guy. I mean, I need more than one guy.
Okay, perfect.
We all do. Yeah. No, it's just if you're just going to take one, because I've listened to 3-hour-long podcasts with Bob Lazar. I like Bob Lazar. I believe he may be telling the truth. He may be telling the truth on this. I don't see any reason necessarily to disbelieve in him, but that doesn't mean he's necessarily correct. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. And I'm not even riding the fence. I'm more on your side of the fence.
Hmm.
I'm just not as certain as you
Okay.
propose to be, and
Well,
that's it.
to the audience, let me tell you, be certain.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Moving on. Irish singer Sinead O'Connor has passed away. O'Connor, of course, shot to fame in 1990 with her cover of Prince's song "Nothing Compares to You." She also had, the shaved head, so that's a big deal. She also stirred controversy by ripping up a photo of the Pope following a performance on SNL. O'Connor, 56 years old, don't know how she died, or I
Nope.
mean, she's had a lot of issues
A lot of
since the
baggage.
90s, a lot of baggage there, and great voice. Again, I go back, and this is where, I don't mean to keep going back to the Taylor Swift is a mediocre voice talent thing, but that's another voice that just amazing. She's just got that range, and just another one where if Sinead O'Connor 1991 would have become what Taylor Swift is now, like say she had a greater catalog of music, it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, because
Well,
she had that thing, but again, that was the voice quality
yeah.
is just still to this day. Sinead O'Connor, one of the greatest voices
She she had a
I've
lot of
ever heard.
internal demons, and
Yes.
she the shaved head and everything else was a
Hmm.
direct protest because she wasn't going to become Taylor Swift. She had
Hmm.
no business
Yeah.
doing that whatsoever, and
Right.
that was not going to be her.
And that's
So,
fine.
and you think about Irish singers too, like her. Another big
Mhm.
loss, Dolores O'Riordan from the Cranberries.
Oh yeah.
Whoa, whoa,
Yeah. No. Yeah.
loved her
See,
voice.
I really like. Yeah, I like the Cranberries. Didn't love the Cranberries, but I liked. I appreciate. I appreciate the different sound. I love it, but again, the voice, the vocal ranges of some of these, especially female performers, can just hit you. And
Yeah,
I'm not an overly emotional guy. It touches you in ways
go listen
emotionally,
to go listen
occasionally.
to Linger later on today. Like,
Yes. Oh my
ooh,
God.
ooh.
Great song. Phenomenal. Finally, a former medical marijuana shop in Muskegon is expanding into recreational sales of the drug. Exclusive brands on Apple Avenue in Eggleston Township will have a special reopening this weekend. The shop will open 9 a.m. Friday through Saturday with recreational and medical supplies. There will also be games, giveaways, and music. A high time will be had by all. See what I did there?
I like it.
I
Wow,
threw that in.
that's
Sports.
genius right there in writing.
Cubs win, Cubs win, Cubs win. They beat the Chi Sox 10-7. Tigers, Angels rained out. That's sports.
Oh, here's a freebie for you. I didn't want to ask this question. It's so easy.
Okay.
This sucks. Film directors 400. This is bullshit. I don't even want to ask this question. Before directing movies like Seven, David Fincher directed this singer's videos for Vogue and Express Yourself.
Oh no. This is tough.
Oh, I know.
This is really difficult. Shit.
I should be pulling you along in a wagon with questions like this. Andy, can I have a lollipop?
Do you want to just can we just go that's Madonna.
Wow. All right.
All right.
44,600 in the hole. Way to bounce back.
I do what I can.
We'll see you tomorrow.
See ya.
The truth is out there.
Happy Thursday, Muskegon. Thankfully, today will be a lot drier than we saw on Wednesday after that flooding. But unfortunately, severe weather is possible once again for Friday evening. So let's take a look at your forecast brought to you by Trinity Health. Starting off with your weather headlines, we will stay muggy and very warm into Friday with highs generally in the upper 80s to near 90 with very muggy dew points. Dew points will be similar to what they see in Florida during the summer. And then, like I said, strong to maybe even severe storms are possible once again for Friday evening. So the timing on that might not be that good if you have Friday evening plans, with more comfortable air thankfully arriving later in the day on Saturday. But in the meantime, like I said, it will be pretty hot and pretty humid as well, with temperatures in the upper 80s lower 80s at the beach. Dew points today, like I said, will be well into the 70s possibly, so will be very humid to just uncomfortable outside. So if you're not a fan of the humidity, try to stay inside today. Lake Michigan, though, will be a great place to visit with a low swim risk with waves likely less than a foot. However, we will have humid conditions, so keep that in mind. Water temperatures, though, very warm in the lower 70s. So for your Thursday, expect a high of 88. With muggy conditions, we should stay dry today with partly cloudy skies with a low of 68 with increasing clouds as well. And fast forward to Friday evening, this is what the severe storms could look like. Keyword could. This is just one model out of several, and it shows a line of storms moving into West Michigan Friday evening. So this timing is not good if you have any Friday evening plans, especially outside. So keep that in mind. As of now, we're in a level 1 out of 5 risk for Friday evening, but I could definitely imagine the Storm Prediction Center upgrading that as we get closer. And really, that's the only weather we have for the next week or so. Friday evening, expect those showers and thunderstorms. They'll be done by Saturday with mostly sunny skies this weekend, with the humidity finally leaving later in the day on Saturday as well. We'll turn cooler into the 70s Sunday and Monday, slowly warming back up though into the lower 80s once we hit August. And that's your Thursday forecast brought to you by Trinity Health on the Muskegon channel. And I'm Colton Woods Weather, and have a great day today.